my destiny was to become an accountant or a financial. Right now, I help to manage all of the projects that we do and set out like the strategy on where we are going. The most important thing is to talk about it openly and really set out boundaries on like, oh yeah, that's what we need as a, you need a team, you need a really good team, and it's not a burden, it's a bonus that you can have.
Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Game with Heroes. Today's guest is someone who has been making an impact in gaming since his teens, rising from junior developer to executive producer at Nox Games. He's guided a creative team to global success. Please welcome David.
My name is David. I'm from Czech Republic, and I actually work for Nox Games, which is a Czech-based studio. And currently, I am the executive producer, but originally I was a developer programmer, to be exact.
And I know that you entered the games industry very young, at just 17. So could you tell me, please, what's motivated you to start so young, and how did you land your first role in the gaming industry?
That's actually a really long story, so I'm gonna have to cut it a little bit short.
Okay.
Yeah, the basics was I actually never studied anything related to games or technology. I actually studied a business academy, so my destiny was to become an accountant or a financial advisor. But I kind of realized, like on a high school, I was studying this. I just realized, well, I'm not gonna go through with this. So I was just stranded a little bit for some time, and I actually had some like personal lows at that time as well. And yeah, I don't really remember the exact moment, but I just stumbled upon some tutorials on YouTube, and I started doing some programming in Python. And then I realized, oh well, if I can do like a simple program, I could probably make a game. So I started doing the Python games, and then I realized I wanted to do better games, and I started working with Unity, completed like dozens of courses. And then when it came time to go for like a internship, because we had to go like every summer for an internship at our academy, I just decided, yeah, I'm just gonna write an email to all of the studios around Czech Republic. And one studio, Nox Games, answered, and I created like a sample project for them. It was like a football card managing stuff thing. It was like a really simplified football manager, and they really liked it. So I joined for the internship, and they really liked me for the 14 days that I was here. And right now I'm here a little bit over 6 years.
Wow. And could you walk us through your journey starting from the junior developer and being executive producer now?
Yeah, well, that's a similarly long story,
We just
but
continue that story.
yeah, it's like this continuous thing. I know. So basically, started working on some projects from the start. We actually, when I entered the company properly on like a summer job, because I couldn't work full time, right? I was still in high
Yeah.
school. So I was working mostly through summer or nights, like after the school. So I actually worked with a team that was assigned to me on the project that I did as a like an intro test, and we actually developed it fully. We released it. It's not live anymore, but it wasn't really successful game, to be honest. But it was a first thing I'd made, right? And later I started doing more advanced stuff. I actually started helping with managing some of the projects as well. And then when I started working on our like biggest title, Hexapolis, the like, strategy civilization type of game, actually our CEO, which was like a project manager at the time for the project, he had to go for like really long vacation, and he was like, well, someone has to take over the project, right? So he just assigned me, and when he came back like 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, he just said, I'm not gonna retake the project anymore, right? Just keep it. And down the road we started like growing the company, more people were coming in, and the need for like dedicated management arise. Yeah, me and a couple other guys, we basically taken some courses to actually become managers, right? Like some Scrum things and stuff like that. And later down the road, I just started doing more and more projects. And at the end, I stayed probably just the only one which wants to do this kind of job. So basically, right now, I help to manage all of the projects that we do and set out like the strategy on where we are going.
And what was the most significant turning point for you personally when you took a leadership role at such a young age? I can imagine that a couple of, or maybe all of your colleagues at that time were older than you even. So,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Actually,
yeah.
because on that project on Exapolis, there was another programmer that started around the same time as me, but he was much
Mhm.
older. And there was actually a co-founder of the company working with us on the project as well, and he's much older than me. So for like first 4 years in the company, I was the youngest one. Right now, there are a few interns that are a little bit younger than me, but not much, by a year or two, something like that. So yeah, like the biggest turning point was probably that vacation, that change of guards on Hexapolis. That was the biggest thing. I just realized, yeah, maybe I can have more of an impact as a leader rather than just a programmer. I don't think of myself as a bad developer, but there are definitely better ones, I guess. So yeah.
And how do you keep a team of 30 creative minds motivated and aligned on hybrid casual and mid-core titles now?
Well, that's a really hard question.
Yes. Yes, and it's a hard task, I know.
Yeah, for sure. And like, it's not even possible sometimes, right? Like when there are
Mm-hmm.
30 people and they're working on like a big project, sometimes their ideas and their opinions on things just don't really match. And what I've come to realize after all those years is that the most important thing is to talk about it openly and
Mm-hmm.
really set out boundaries on like, oh yeah, that's what we need as a team. And be transparent about it and actually set exact expectations. So so the team isn't following some expectation, they don't have
Mm-hmm.
some belief about the project, and the leadership is going to have different one. Well, both of them can do a really good job, but at the end, if they were racing for a different thing, it's not
Mm-hmm.
going to work out at the end. So I try to bring in like a culture of like openness. Everyone has the right to say something, and everyone should say something,
Mm-hmm.
because it will help us to guide the direction in one way, basically.
And Nox Games aims to be a leading global mobile studio. So, what makes your approach different from bigger, more established publishers already in the market?
I think one advantage could be the size, that we're not such big giant yet.
Yeah.
It definitely has some drawbacks as well, but it helps us just to like go about the like newest things, right? We don't have
Mm-hmm.
to shift big teams around. If we have a good idea, we can basically have that idea in the morning and have
Mm-hmm.
someone working on it by the evening, right? So we're still enjoying all the benefits of like a really small independent studio, and but with all of the benefits of being established for some time, because Nox Games was around for 20 years. So we have some connections, we have some financial backing as well. So we're just able to do a lot of things, but very agile, right, at the same
Mm-hmm.
moment. And we can actually experiment with new things as well. I was sharing a lot of things on LinkedIn for the last few weeks about AI, and when we are trying to push the boundaries of what is possible, I don't think so I would be able, and I don't think so big companies would be able to do that.
At least not that quick,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, because the process is, of course, going quicker in a
yeah.
smaller teams. And what's the most valuable lesson you've learned about free-to-play game design and monetization in today's market, today's competitive market?
That is really hard, and
Yeah.
that individuals have it even harder. I think a lot of people still have dreams to like, let's achieve, let's just make this game as an individual. It's gonna be the next Angry Birds or something like that.
Uh,
I don't think so. That's the reality now. Definitely can happen, right? And we saw it that happen with like Balatro and stuff, right? But I think the most valuable lesson is that you need a team. You need a really good team, and it's not a burden. It's a bonus that you can have if the
mm,
team works well. And the second thing, and I think that's very important as well, because a lot of the people come into the industry as gamers, but usually
mhm.
as gamers of like PC and console games,
Yeah.
you have to think about the games a little bit differently, right? It's just not healthy to try to make a game for a different platform on a different platform. Like there are some specific things about mobile games, whether you like it or not. So yeah, that's very important, because we actually had this happen as well. Like some designers just want to make PC games, but they're working for a mobile studio. That just doesn't work really.
Yeah, you would be surprised. And I was surprised because I have a question for my guests on the podcast, like, what's your favorite game of all time? And since I already have about 17 episodes and I already recorded some that will be released soon, only one person named a mobile game as their favorite
Yeah,
one. And many people are working with mobile titles, like in a studio or as a service provider, but everyone is naming PC or console game. And I
yeah.
was very like surprised. Yeah, so that is totally true. So, what's advice then you would give to young professionals hoping to break into game development quickly? within a game studio?
I actually had a very similar talk in like a local pub that's
Mm-hmm.
hosting like local gaming events, and I actually
Okay.
had a talk about how to get into those studios and how
Yeah.
to like gain a competitive edge over the people
Mm-hmm.
already in the studio, because
Yeah.
I had the exact like experience, right? I got in quite young, and I got to basically overcompete my like most important thing I was sharing at that talk was just try harder, like like trying harder, because it comes like a norm, like yeah, we're at work, but probably everyone is working the same way. No, that's just not the truth, right? It's not about working 20 hours a day. That's not healthy neither, right? But just like putting everything that you have and really caring about the job. And if it is this part of your life, which I believe it is, like work is definitely like integral part of your life, you should do something that you like. And
Mm-hmm.
if you like it, you should definitely try to do it and try to be the best at it, right? I'm a really competitive person. That's why I do a lot of sports as well. And in business and in games, it's the same, right? You're competing to make the best games. You're competing to get into the best teams. So yeah, just try harder, and be open to new things, right? Especially these days, like with AI and stuff like that. Be open to it. It's nothing to take away our jobs. It's just to like improve them, basically.
Exactly, exactly. So then tell us, please, what's your favorite game of all time? And you can't name in any PC and console now, only mobile titles. Okay, the first in mobile titles, then you can name a couple of PC and console games.
On mobile, I actually have the advantage that I play a lot of mobile games as well,
Hmm.
especially when I was in school, because I
Yeah.
didn't want to be at school, so we played a lot of games. So for mobile, actually, one a little bit older game. It's called Dead Trigger 2. This was like a FPS zombie shooter game, actually from a
Mm.
Brno studio as well. I played a really lot of time in that game. So that would be a mobile game for me. And actually, funnily, when I was much younger than I am, right? Because the studio Nox Game was founded when I was really young. I actually played a lot of the games as a child, basically, a lot of the older games. So like the Puppet series, I actually played, and it was funny when I came into the studio. I had access to all the reviews. I actually found my old reviews on the games, so that was incredible.
Wow. Interesting. So that's how you got a job. Just
Yeah,
when
yeah,
your child start playing games from the company that you want to work
yeah,
in 20 years.
yeah, exactly.
And what about PC or console? Do you have a favorite game?
Well, that for me, I'm a big RPG and FPS
Mm-hmm.
guy. So on the RPG side, it's definitely going to be a split between Witcher 3 and Kingdom Come 2.
Mm.
And for the FPS side, I'm a big Battlefield and Escape from Tarkov guy. So between those games, I spent thousands of hours, and I'm definitely going to spend some more. So yeah,
Amazing. So what's a guilty pleasure?
I was actually thinking, and one thing that, because I was asked on this by someone else recently, and it's interesting that I really like shopping. And
Shopping for what? What's clothes,
actually
groceries,
everything, because
everything?
yeah, the
Wow.
shopping is just a small part of it, because here in Czech Republic we have a local e-commerce giant called Alza. It's basically an
Uh-huh.
Amazon but local, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have like a free return policy. So when I
Mm.
was shopping for something, for example, I was buying like a daily driver backpack, right? So I can
Mm-hmm.
commute to work and stuff. And I actually bought like 20 backpacks to just try them out. And I actually took only two and returned the 18 months. So that's a little bit of a guilty pleasure for me, I guess, because I do the same thing for almost everything.
But you like online shopping, not actual shopping then.
Yeah, I don't really like the like in
Okay.
store shopping. No, that's not for me. Online shopping, that's great. I just pull up the phone, just order it on the app. That's amazing.
Yeah, that can be very addictive, especially with the free returns. So, what's then one interesting, surprising fact about yourself that most people don't know, apart of the online shopping addiction?
Usually people tell me that it's the fact that I just do so many things. I mentioned that I'm like very competitive, and I actually do a lot of weird sports, I would say, because
For example?
I actually do a sport. It's called fire sport. It's like it's basically like exercise for firemen, right? But it's
Mm.
sport is made out of that, and actually sport on like a multinational level, and it's actually quite big in Czech Republic. And I'm actually at part of like the biggest league in this, the national
Is,
one.
Is it the when you need to climb some stairs, then you need to jump,
It's
then
part of it.
crawl
Yeah.
over like different things
It's part
together?
of it.
Yes.
Yeah. It has different
Oh,
disciplines,
okay.
but it's part of it. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm doing that. And on the other hand, I'm actually like active in dynamic shooting, right? Like a sport with pistols, right? And then on the
Mm,
other hand, I'm a FPV pilot as well. And
okay.
I have so many things. Actually, the worst part is that I really like my work. I really like to work, but then I don't have time to do all these things, right? So that's something that a lot of people don't know about me, really. So yeah.
That's interesting. Yes, of course. And then what's your favorite place to travel?
Favorite place to travel? Well, I actually started traveling a little bit more recently for the
Mm-hmm.
conferences and stuff like that, and with my girlfriend as well. And yeah, I think that out of all the places that I've been in like recent years, it's gonna definitely be Cyprus for me.
Mm.
This is a different place a little bit, right? I think Dubai was really great as well, but Cyprus just has this interesting feeling about it.
Yes, and you can travel and work there and also
Yeah,
chill and have vacations. That's true. And it's not far away from Czech Republic
yeah, it's
compared
like
to Dubai. So
yeah, it's like
it's
2 hour flight. Yeah.
comfortable. Amazing. So what about the conferences? So what's the next conference where we can see you? What's the plans?
Yeah, that's gonna be PGC Helsinki. So I will be
Mm,
in Helsinki for the whole week, probably for the like side events as well. So
yes.
yeah,
Yes, they will have International Game Development Association Day and then PGC Helsinki and also some kind of new events this
yeah,
year. So
yeah,
that's for sure a very busy week in Helsinki. But have you been there before? Have you participated?
yeah. I've been there actually. I wasn't there for like a PGC. I was there
Mm-hmm.
traveling on like a personal matter. But yeah, Helsinki are really great cities. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to explore it from like a different angle.
I think you will love it. PGC Helsinki, one of my favorite events. It's not that big as London or any other
Mhm.
conferences, but there are so many quality, like you meet quality and quantity there because you can meet everyone. It's not that busy and crowded, but at the same time, the Scandinavian game industry is amazing. And yeah, always recommend to go to PGC Helsinki. Okay, and the last question that I have for you for today. So imagine that you can have a coffee tomorrow with any person from the industry, past, present, anyone. So who would it be, and what's the first question that you want to ask them?
That's a really hard one. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people I would like to meet. For me, I would really love to meet Hideo Kojima one day as well. But that's not so much realistic. I'll probably go with a little bit more of a realistic thing, and that's gonna be Daniel Vavra from Warhorse. It's actually from a Czech studio as well. We've actually met a few times and shared a few words, but I didn't had the option to like take him
Mm.
out of for a coffee and ask him for some questions. And if I had the chance to ask him for a few questions, I would definitely ask about like what's the next game. Because Kingdom Come was 2 was amazing, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to wait for it like next 6 years, but that's okay. If it's
I'm
gonna
not
be,
sure you will get an answer from him. That's kind of NDA question.
it is, but like maybe in like 6 years, it might say that.
Okay, okay, got it. Well, you need to try and hope for the
Sure,
best.
sure.
Amazing, David. So thank you so much for your time today, and I wish you to spend more time with your hobbies and guilty pleasures. Not forget about them. Continue loving your job and what you do, but don't forget also to take rest for yourself. That's how you can fuel yourself up and be more proactive at work. So thank you so much for your time today, and see you in Helsinki then.
Thank you for having me. See you there.
Thank you. That's a wrap for today's episode of Game Biz Heroes. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed our chat, make sure to subscribe, share your feedback, and pass the episode to friends in the industry. See you next time.